Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie, and if you think back about 2 years ago, more or less, when I put in these upgraded projector housings on the Jetta, they turned out amazing. A lot of people liked that video, and you know, it was such a big improvement over the factory reflector housings output, which was, to put it in nice terms, garbage. So at first I did that, and then these housings did come with a halogen H1 bulb. And a few months after that, if you remember, I upgraded those halogen bulbs to a full-on Xenon conversion. Boy, what a difference that was. And it was already a night and day difference just by going to this projector housing and then adding Xenon on top of that. It was phenomenal. It's been about 2 years since the Xenon conversion, maybe a little more. And they have been working great. Absolutely no complaints. But on that video for the Xenon conversion, I got a lot of comments with people asking, why didn't you just do LED? Why don't you just do LED? And it was because at the time, I still had the old school pre-notion of Xenon is better, Xenon is better. But nowadays, that margin is so narrow that it really makes you question whether the additional labor to install and the additional cost for a quality Xenon kit is worth it when you have such good, reliable, strong LED options. So with that said, the team over at Novsight actually reached out to me and they asked me if I would be willing to do an unboxing and review video on their LED bulbs. And I thought, okay, that sounds cool. I'll do that. And on top of that, I want to do a comparison between the output of their LED bulbs and the Morimoto Xenon bulbs that I have on here right now. I want to do a side-by-side and really be able to know, are the Xenons even worth it anymore, you know? Because LED technology has come up so much, and I'm really curious to see what Novsight has to offer. So with that said, let's take a look. Okay, so Novsight actually sent me out 2 boxes. One of them is this one here, which is for the H1 bulbs that my car uses. And then this one here is for H7s. I'm gonna open both so that way you guys can take a good look at both. Oh, look at that. Comes with a card for after-sales service, because they do have a warranty for their parts. And that's how you activate it there, perfect. And you have a quick manual for it, how to install them. There we go, little breakdown. Oh, pretty cool. All right, here's the money right here. So notice, these are H1 bulbs, and let's take a look at the construction. I mean, first of all, this is aluminum. It looks like plastic, but that's just a paint on it, but that is definitely aluminum. And there's probably, let me see, can I tell? I know there's a heatsink, and oh yeah, there you go. It's hard to tell, but in there, you can kind of see the copper color, but that's the actual backing plate for the chipset. And what that does is that it acts like a heatsink and it brings the heat over to the back here. And in the back, you have a fan assembly. See, kind of tell there. But when this thing gets power, that fan turns on and it takes the heat away from the heatsink, so that way this thing can keep running cool. Overall packaging looks pretty good. Everything is very solid. I like how this feels. Definitely feels sturdy. It doesn't feel cheapy. Yeah, so okay. So far, first impression is good. I do like the fact that it has an integrated fan. I don't like the ones that have the passive cooling, because those tend to give overheating issues, especially in the summer. But this here with a fan, this should be much more reliable over long term. But yeah, take a look at that. It looked pretty good. I count 8 chips on each side. So that should be plenty strong. All right, so let's just take a look at the H7s just to see them side by side. Okay, so these have their own instruction manual, and there's warranty information. So this one had all different cards. This one has all the information integrated into one. So that's cool. All right, so let's take a look at the bulbs. All right, so unfortunately, I won't be installing these just because I don't have H7 bulbs on this car. These look good. And they're also keyed. So, you know, just like a halogen bulb, you're only going to be able to fit these in one way. This should not be difficult at all to install if you have H7 bulbs. This one here, but yeah, look at that. So this one, you can't tell, but there is a fan inside there. And that's what's keeping the heatsink, which you see right here. That copper heatsink draws the heat away from the chipset, and then that's where the fan sits, and it keeps air moving over it to keep this thing running cool. Okay, so unfortunately, there's really no point in me trying to show you guys how to install these because at the end of the day, like I don't have the application that most people are going to be using this on. 99.9% of people are going to be putting in these LED bulbs because they have halogen bulbs. That is a very, very simple replacement. However, I've already put Xenons in here, like I said, so I have to undo that installation first and then put these on. And that's really something that I don't expect any of you guys to ever have to do. So I'm just going to skip forward to the part where I actually have one installed and we're ready to test fire. Give me just a second. I'm going to do this install off the camera. All right, so we're making progress. You see here, all the Xenon stuff is out. It is laid out here on the engine cover. Look at all the stuff that it's required to make a proper Xenon conversion work. All of this stuff needed to be secured. And so we have that. And of course, where the magic happens, the actual Xenon bulb. And then it's going through the cover. I'm going to reuse this and just cover up the hole so that way the housing can stay weather tight. But yeah, you need all of this to make Xenon work. So in theory, if the Novsights are strong enough, all that stuff is going to get replaced by this right here. So very exciting, you know, it's gonna make this a lot cleaner. So with that said, it's kind of hard to tell, but down there is where this bulb is going to go, and it's going to poke in this way. Now guys, this is just a reminder. These housings are not the factory Volkswagen housings. I just don't want you guys going into Novsight's website and ordering H1 bulbs if you have the factory ones, because H1 bulbs are not going to work on the factory one. I honestly don't remember what the factory housings have. Like, they could have changed from the facelift to the non-facelift, and if you don't have the original housings, if you're not sure, maybe the aftermarket company that made those housings is not using the factory size bulbs. So you want to make sure you match the bulb to whatever is in there. So before you order, take out your headlight bulb and determine what bulb it is, and then go ahead and go to Novsight's website and order your LED bulbs accordingly. I want you guys to get the right bulbs the first time to make this as easy as possible. All right guys, I got the bulb sitting inside the housing, just this one. I just want to do a test fire to make sure everything is sitting correctly and whatnot. And obviously I'm in front of my workbench. It's just a test fire. I want to make sure everything is correct. Let's give it a shot. Hold on. All right, don't worry about that other light. Let's see here real quick. Let's see here. Oh man, I'm excited. Okay, got power, as you can see. This is the daytime running lights going on right now. All right, so LED on this side, Xenon on that side. Let's see now. Oh, nice. Look at that. So this one went full bright immediately, but you see how that one is still bluish and it's starting to warm up. That's normal behavior of Xenon bulbs. You see here, let's come down into the cutoff. There you go. And then for comparison, here's the LED. Check that out. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm really happy with how that looks. It actually looks the same as the Xenon. Now, let's look at the color comparison. The Xenon bulb is mostly warmed up. You see that, and then you see this one here. I'm gonna get you guys a better angle outside. I just wanted to make sure this thing actually worked and whatnot, but so far, initial impressions are excellent. Before I go to that other side, I wanted to show you guys the cooling fan in the back of the thing. So you see here, the bulb is on right now. Let me go ahead and just show you there. It's kind of hard to tell. I'll go ahead and zoom it in on the shot, but that fan is spinning and you can barely hear it. All right, guys, here we go. I'm about to flip the lights on. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, so obviously the bulb still has to warm up. Let's give it a chance to warm up there. All right, guys, so it's been 1 minute and 10 seconds since I turned them on. And okay, that is 6500K temperature. That's supposed to be 5500. And you can see the color difference. But as far as the output though, look at that. I'm gonna go back inside the house. I'm gonna replace the other side, and then we're gonna go out on the road. All right, here we go with both headlights on. Oh yeah. That looks so good. Well, I have to say that I'm definitely impressed. The spread pattern on the road is actually pretty good. I know it's hard to tell there, but it's very well spread, I have to say. And yeah, look at this here, that's all pitch black. This is neat. You can see the cutoff, if you can catch it, it's very well defined. Okay, been driving it around for a bit now, and I have to say that these are nice and bright, but the Xenons are still brighter than this. You do pay a lot more for that Xenon brightness, and it is such much more complicated installation, and these are 100 times better than the factory halogen stuff. Yeah, so I think this is definitely a win. Anyone that's coming from halogens, absolutely upgrade your stuff to this. This is so much better. Look at this. All right, guys, so like I said on the road, these are not as bright as the Morimoto Xenon bulbs, but I think that from a value standpoint, they are unbeatable because for what you pay for them and the fact that if you already have halogen, all you have to do is put these in and not have to do any sort of wiring. You're literally just, instead of putting back a halogen bulb, you're putting in these LED bulbs. Yes, they're not as bright as the Morimoto Xenon bulbs once you get it out on the road. However, you have to take into account that the Morimoto kit cost me about 4 times what these Novsight LEDs cost, number one. And number two, that's just parts. Number two is the labor. Because let's be honest, most people are not as crazy as me to take on such a wiring project to install all of this stuff and route it away from hot engine parts. With that said, most people are probably going to take this and have a shop install them. How much do you think they're going to charge you in labor for that? I don't know, an hour, 2 hours at most shops? You're going to be looking at least another $150, $200 just on installation. So now you're looking at potentially $400 plus to put in a quality Xenon bulb kit when these LED bulbs are plug and play. You'll be done in 10 minutes, maybe less. And you know, you have almost all the output of a Xenon bulb with that. But more importantly, you have such a major upgrade over your original halogen junk. Clear winner. Keep in mind also, Novsight does offer a warranty on their product, so they stand by it, and they have a customer service stuff. You saw the cards they have on there. So, you know, I am okay with recommending them because of that. Like, not only was the product good, it worked exactly as advertised, it puts out great output, and they stand by their product. So if you guys want to go and check them out, I do have a link to their website on my description, so you can click in there. I did not expect to love them. I expected to like them, but I have to say that I don't think I'm going to put the Morimoto Xenon bulbs back because of how much it cleaned up the engine bay in the Jetta. They're definitely staying on the car. So just a quick thank you to the team over at Novsight. It was great working with you, and the product itself is great. So thank you guys again. And now, to all of you guys watching, I just want to give a sneak peek to the next project for the Jetta, which hopefully, if the weather allows, I'll be doing it in the next couple, maybe 3 weeks. But you see everything here, all those parts are for the Jetta. And for that, I'm going to use my power bleeder down here. You know why? Because we are getting rid of those crusty, rusty drums that don't break for nothing in the back. And we're going to put disc brakes on it. I want to take you guys along with that journey because I am so excited for that. Finally getting rid of those drum brakes. With that said, guys, thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.